welcome, guys, to the Tyrone Hour. Y'all know we do here every Saturday at WFBR 1590 AM. On Saturdays, we strive to bring power, dignity, and class. I'm always say class. It's Saturday and there's no school, right, King?
No school.
Yeah, it's like school on Saturday, no class. Class is missing in our community. You know, I've been saying that for 5 years now. This class thing. We used to have class. Now it's dressed down, your mentality's down. King, we had good conversation this morning, and I think you liked what I said about the topic of the show.
Yeah, I did.
And I got a question mark at the bottom of the topic of the show, you know what I mean? Because it's the hour of the day. Again, we see what's going on in Baltimore. The assailants are winning, and the community is losing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is what it is. I mean, you hear the citizens crying out. King, you cried out 2 years ago, said you were leaving. All right? But the topic of the show, King, is leaving Baltimore with a question mark at the end of it, guys. So I'm leaving it up to you guys to fill in whatever questions you want to add to that topic of the show today, because I believe this is a very interesting topic, and I thought about it all day today. I watched the news, and you know, King, I watch, we sit down, we watch the news all the time, not just Fox. We watch a multitude of news. We worldly men. You know what I mean? Stop repping your neighborhood, rep the world. You get me? Stop now. Yeah, you get me?
Well, you got to get out your neighborhood to get into the world.
Get some experience.
Yeah.
Get some experience. Yes. King, I titled the show, Leaving Baltimore.
Leaving Baltimore.
Well, King, the fees are going up. All right? Remember I said the changing of words. Fees the word fees is nothing but a new word of taxes.
Yep.
That's all it is, guys. And the same person that we voted in that said that they wouldn't do this to their own people
Doing it to their own people. There you go.
Yeah, the fees. And they slick legging you. They you know what, we ain't gonna say it, we're gonna slick leg them. We've been bamboozling them so long. First they said it was a white man that was bamboozling us. You remember that? So the white man was bamboozling us. Who's bamboozling us now?
Well, they
seem to look like me.
Well, they said it's systemic racism that's going on now.
Yeah, but it's being done by people who look like me.
But it's systemic racism.
Yeah, King, I said leaving Baltimore. King, what were we talking about the property taxes are going up?
No, you said that the property taxes in Baltimore City are the highest.
They're the highest in the state of Maryland. Yes, and we have no people living in there no more.
Oh, that's when I came in. I chimed in and I was like, well, the census in 20...
Yes.
I just want y'all to hear this.
Yes,
in 2020, just this past year, the year before COVID, we had... Let me get my information here. 576,000 residents here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
As of 2023, last year that just ended, we are down to 565,000 people. Yeah. We are still hemorrhaging people.
Yeah, we're still leaving.
I'm going to use the right word, hemorrhaging.
Mean coming out.
Yes.
Leaving. Yeah, hemorrhaging.
Profusely.
We got caller? Caller, who's caller today? Good morning.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Moore?
Good morning.
LA?
It's LA.
Hey, brother, how you doing, man? It's good to hear your voice, brother.
I'm good.
Did you hear what the topic of the show was?
No, I just tuned in and I hear what the topic was.
Let me give it to you. I said leaving Baltimore.
Ooh.
And I put a question mark at the end of that, Al, because Kings, it is LA. You met LA before. He came.
Yes.
He talked before on the show. But
yes.
it was about what's going on. Al, the taxes are going up. People are leaving Baltimore because of violence, crime, education, and all the aboves.
Corrupt politicians.
Corrupt black politicians, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mismanagement of funds. I mean, billions and billions of dollars at this point. Yeah, I mean, I said 2 years ago that I was leaving Baltimore. I actually came onto the show, and that was the thing that I started with, and everybody was like, well, what are you talking about? How it couldn't be that bad.
So,
and I'm like, oh, it's that bad.
So, Al, I'm going to ask you this question. If people leave in Baltimore, can you imagine how the prices going to go up on us, the ones that's left?
They're still left, yes.
Yes.
They gonna hit us hard.
Yeah.
Where we at now? 6%, and it gone up again.
I'm sorry, sir. Sir,
What is it? Is it at 6%?
It's 6% now, but according to these new fees that they're adding, depending upon what you're getting, like a car or something along those, it could be as much as 6.5%.
Hey, Al.
Oh, that 0.5% will kill you.
Hey, Al. But are you down with the new word? Instead of saying taxes, they keep saying fees.
Yeah, it's fees now.
Yeah.
Have you paid that any attention?
Fee is no such thing as fee.
That's taxes, cut and dry.
It's taxes.
Cut and dry.
And matter of fact, I was at work and we was talking about something about taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about, well, you know, kind of wasn't this country built off of leaving England about taxes?
Yes.
Good call, good call.
So we were talking about that, right? And so I was saying, well, I was looking at something, I read something, and somebody was saying, well, we've been getting bamboozled the whole time because you tax my paycheck, and then you taxing me at the stores and anything else I buy.
And then, Al, at the end of the year, you do income taxes, and they make you pay again. Wow. But, hey, Al, let me say something. You said something that was really, that was missing for a long time. We fought England for what?
The Boston Tea Party. It was taxes on the
because we didn't want to pay taxes to the people no more.
We didn't want to pay taxes.
They said taxes without representation. They're not doing
That's
it.
what we fought. That's why we fought the.
That's what the whole war was about.
About not paying.
That's why they had the Boston Tea Party.
There you go.
I said the Boston Tea Party was there.
Taxing.
Yeah.
So they threw the tea in the harbor.
Yeah.
They threw the tea in the harbor and they started drinking coffee. That's why coffee is their breakfast pastime, because in England it's
still
tea.
tea. It's still tea to the day. You're
Yes.
right. You're right.
And they exploited the Caribbeans and those islands for the sugar crops and the sugar cane that they had down there, because at first they was drinking it bitter before they got the sugar crops from down there to England. And again, that's where you start looking at that industrial revolution taking place.
Go ahead, Al. Go ahead, Al. Go ahead, face your ticket. Go ahead, Al.
because just like you were saying, I work all year. I'm paying taxes.
Yeah.
Out my check, and then when I file taxes, you telling me I ain't paid enough income tax.
I gotta pay again.
Y'all gonna hit me again.
Yeah.
Say I didn't pay out enough.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I'm paying the state, like you said, I'm paying them 6%. How much I'm paying the feds? Almost.
You paying 33 point. You
federal and state.
Yeah,
federal. Federal and state.
So say I make $100,000, right?
Okay. So,
I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm on. By the time between taxes, insurance.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You left out the Baltimore City tax, because there's a city tax as well.
See, I didn't even get the Baltimore City tax and the state tax.
Yeah.
We getting hit twice.
So you get the city tax, you get the state tax, and then you get the federal tax.
Yeah.
And then the feds.
Yes.
And then you talking about Social Security. How you taxing me for Social Security?
So out that 100,000 you talked about, you roughly might see 35.
No. That's he's going to pay about almost 40% in taxes. I say about 37%. So about 37,000 you'll pay in taxes. You probably bring home like 63.
Yeah,
somewhere around
I went real hard.
Yeah, you went hard. I was like,
yeah, you went hard.
I went real hard.
We ain't full socialist yet. They trying to get there, but yeah, they ain't that far
Hey,
yet.
but look, hey Al, again, man, because a lot of people are saying the same thing, man. Enough is enough. If the people leave, the ones who are left gonna be forced to pay the burden.
Yeah, we definitely are. And you know where they moving to, right?
The surrounding counties.
They moving to Texas and they moving to Florida because they don't have no state taxes.
No state. There you go.
And they moving to Delaware. The older folks are moving to Delaware.
Yep.
And they moving to Delaware. Sure. Or even up to Pennsylvania.
I told you about Pennsylvania.
Yep. Hey, Al, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in, man. Hopefully you keep calling in, man, because, I'm back on the air every week now. We're going to be rolling now, and like you once was rolling before. All right?
I got you.
All right, thank you, man.
Y'all have a good one, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey,
all right.
You see what I'm saying, King? People's minds are on this.
Well,
That's why I put the question mark at the end.
Because they live in it.
Because I'm letting each and every person say who lives in these communities, I'm leaving the question open and say, look, tell me what you feel about this. King, we're going to start having like a round table too here, and if I can, whereas I'm going to try to have about 1 or 2 guests out here with us, every other weekend or something, so we can get again to figuring out why people are questioning what I do.
Well, it's nothing to figure out. We already know what's going on.
Yeah.
The question is exactly like you said. Some people have been here their whole lives, so they're paralyzed. They don't want to leave because they don't know what life is going to be outside of Maryland.
Remember what I said, King, about being afraid? Remember
I
was at my job for 30-something years. I got the job coming out of a situation, and that's all I knew. All right? So I wanted to leave. But in actuality, I was a little afraid to leave. And it's the same scenario with Baltimore right now. We've been so entrenched in these communities trying to save the black mist of unity. You heard what I just said? Trying to save the black mist of unity in these communities. Oh, black people, black people. Hey, man, go do what you need to do, man.
Well, listen, it shouldn't take 2 years for everybody to catch up. I mean, this is how it's been, my whole life. I will say things that are so unsavory at the time, but then as the time rolls out, they'd be like, and again, they'd be like, okay, you're right. And the one thing that I always go back to is when my mom was in the hospital, and I never forget, it was me, her, and my father, and I was like, and they were like, what'd you think about the election? I was like, oh, Donald Trump going to win. And they looked at me. It's like I said, the worst thing in the world. And to tell you the lashing, the tongue lashing. And then I just sat back, and when they were done talking, I was like, let me tell you the reasons why I say what I say. I was like, the people are tired. We've had enough of what they've been telling us. And if you listen to what's going on now, the people, after just 3 years of Joe Biden, are telling you they've had enough. It's the financial burden is too much. And then you're looking at all the money. They just approved another $300 million for Ukraine and Israel.
Yes, and ain't cutting us a stipend at all, but still cutting the illegal migrants a stipend. King, let me tell you something, King. Let me show you. You got another caller? Yeah. Caller? How you doing? Good morning.
Go ahead. How you doing, caller?
How you
doing?
Hey, who's calling?
Charles?
This is Sheldon in Los Angeles.
Hey, this is my nephew Sheldon from Los Angeles. This is the movie director, guys. Thanks for calling in, nephew. Did you hear what I was talking about, nephew, or you want me to put you down with what the topic of the show was about?
Yeah, give me the game, huh? Give me the game.
Because guess what? The topic of the show, you are a living example of the topic of the show.
Yep.
It's called Leaving Baltimore with a question mark. And if you had not left Baltimore, young man, oh my goodness, I don't know what might have transpired. But you left Baltimore and became a movie director, y'all. This is the movie director that produced the movie Love here in Baltimore.
Yeah. With Common Sense.
With Common and Making Good and everything. But did you got anything you want to chime on that about leaving Baltimore? Because I know you know a little bit about Baltimore, even though you on the West Coast. Go ahead, nephew.
Let me say this to you. Even if you can't physically leave the city of Baltimore, you can take your mind anywhere in the world.
Good call.
I'll say it again. You can take your mind anywhere in the world.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You can take your mind anywhere, which means that the world is open for you.
The world is open, and it'll make you a bigger person, broaden your horizons.
That's right.
Somehow we lost the seeking of information as black folks, right?
Yeah. Well, we got entrenched. We got entrenched in these communities under the myth of black unity.
Well, no, not only that, but I think Malcolm X said it best. You know, what other communities do you know exalt their comedians and their entertainers and their athletes into positions of
power,
of leadership? You know,
good call, King.
You know, I mean, that was in the 1960s, and yet here we go in the 2000s, and you look at who our leaders are. They're all on social media, which is even funnier. You know, and again, they're who? Comedians, athletes, white, what is it? Black people. You know, people who just, you know, who don't really have our best interest in mind because they're propped up as puppets. They have been given certain I guess, rewards for their loyalty to them and their agenda, as opposed to coming back and, you know, rebuilding the community and rebuilding the minds of the youngins that they left behind once they, you know, they got to that point.
You got anything you want to chime in on that real fast, nephew?
Well, hey, the last thing I'll leave you with, which I'm real big about this now, when I see black men, I see you, black man, I see your light, and I'm spreading love to you. We got to get back to that. Celebrating each other.
Good call. Good call, nephew. Thank you, nephew.
Now,
appreciate the time, man.
See how he talked about that? Now, did I not just give you the example of when I was in traffic and what happened? You know, just to make the long story short, I'm in traffic. I was about to make the wrong turn and cut a brother off, and when I realized my mistake, I jumped back in my lane. And before I could even throw up my hand to yield, he flipped me off. And then, you know, when I did yield and put up my hand, you know, my bad, he waved me off like whatever and then flipped me off again. And this is what we talking about, shining light on each other, showing, you know, respect. A brotherhood and just common courtesy and respect. You know, and this is what I mean by getting out. Now here, to hear that would make me want to go someplace like California, because I heard somebody say that, hey, you know, I want to shine a light on another brother, but yet here, where I live at, I get flipped off.
In California.
In California. So I would rather go to California where somebody's going to be like, hey, how you doing, and try to shine a light on me as opposed to flipping me off.
Okay.
You know,
let me tell you another, you remember I told you the trickery of how it's, you know, they just flip words in our community and send them out for the scare tactics. You know, what I said about the taxes, they changed that to fees.
The fees,
right?
yeah.
Well, straight crime is crime, right?
Yeah. Well,
this the one that's getting me now. The quality of life crimes. No, you're burglar.
I don't know what the quality of life.
You're burglar.
I don't know what the quality of life. I don't know what is the quality of life?
What is the quality of life crime? See, this is the trickery I'm talking about. I wrote this down because it's been on my mind since they started just mixing and changing of words and trying to make it
again, it started with the holistic. Now you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, because you're trying to make the criminal sound like, he got some type of...
He's committing crimes because the quality of his life is bad. Well, then why am I not committing crimes? The quality of my life sucks.
King, I just was on this because the trickery of this, you know, and then I wrote down again, I said, you know, here we go again with the same black narrative. Still talking about they don't have any tools to make it.
Listen.
I mean, if I don't see all the children going to school, all the children playing, these black kids now. But the narrative, King.
I just want to say this. I mean, as you said, I want this to land because it touches on what you're talking about. It goes back to our elites and our intellectual elites and our elites. These people are the ones that are chasing. Listen to me now. Yeah. Their sexual desires.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And with all the money that they have at their disposal, it is better for them to have us living the way that we live in, because it excuses the behavior.
I'll turn a blind eye to their madness unless it trickles down too far.
Because what happens is that as they're exploring it with children, pedophilia is out there. They're changing the name of it. They call that MAPS now.
Yeah. Change the name
MAPS.
of that.
It's called Minor Attracted People. MAPS. MAPS.
It's a mess.
You see, this is what I mean by trickery. And it all started with, you know, hey, we're going to take a holistic approach. It started with that word of holistic. Because when you listen to that word, and you like, oh man, that's a big fancy word. They're doing something, and the whole time, all it means is we're just gonna research exactly what the real root cause of the problem is.
Yeah.
Come on now.
King.
You know, and this is what's happening. And what did I say last week? The end result is the vaginification of
the
men.
new word you made up. You came up with the new word.
Especially black men, because they're the most emotional dudes that's out here right now.
Right now, what we get ready to face in the next 4 years if Donald Trump wins this office again. Well, in the next couple of months, we get ready to get scared. They get ready to send out so many scared tactics to black people.
They already started.
They get ready to send. The first time he won, my sister said he gonna press the bomb. We going to World War III. He gonna press the nuclear. He gonna press the nuclear bomb. I mean, it was literally. I mean, in that type of motion, as though it was true. He's gonna press the bomb. So imagine it's going to start all over again, King.
Well, again,
black scaring again.
Well, listen.
In the next couple of months again.
They don't even want the prosecutor in Atlanta, Fannie Willis.
Yeah.
Who really is
unprofessional actor.
Extremely unprofessional. They don't even want to remove her.
Yeah.
Okay. They still want. I mean, again, travesties of justice. You talking about again? Yes. I'm not shilling for this guy. I'm just saying, like, just. Think about the long-reaching repercussions. This is a person who's bringing a case against a president who represents a county that may have 300,000 people.
Yeah.
And we're a country of over 300 million.
She got wrapped up in a scandal already.
Well, she was already in it. She was sleeping with the dude she put on.
But did she pay the money back for him or something?
He was a married man and she was messing with him, and he cried that he was broke, so she was paying for him.
King,
this is what they all do. Yeah. I don't mean to say it like that, but listen, the game ain't. Listen, young men. The game ain't changed. Y'all just been taught different. These chicks are still paying.
Yeah.
Okay. They are still paying because they looking for a man to lead them correctly. You see, when you lead them correctly, they pay for you.
Yeah.
Stop thinking that you have to drop the bag. I want to talk about that too, because that is really this is going crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you meeting people and they're telling you that they want you to drop a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 bag on them just to talk to them, take them to a Ruth Chris for lunch at 60, $70, $80, $90, $100 for lunch. I'm sorry, we have a caller.
King, I want to talk about something after we get this call on. We're going to talk about something that really made me laugh, really, in a sense. Because it's comical to me. We're going to talk about sanctuary cities after
my goodness.
Caller, who's on the line? How you doing? Good morning.
Hey, Newt, this your mom. How you doing, Kingsley?
How you doing, Mom?
How you doing, Mother?
Somehow or another, Newt, you and Kingsley are going over and over the same statement.
Yeah.
You keep repeating the same stuff when about your sister said. And you keep going back and forth over that same conversation.
But did you hear what we were talking about, Ma?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's repetitious. Y'all keep going. Something happened where it keep repeating what you and Kingsley was saying.
But did you answer the show, though, Ma? What we talking about, Ma? We're talking about the show, Ma. We're talking about the show at hand right now. Leaving Baltimore is the question. That's the question.
I get your point. What she's saying is that what we're talking about, we keep going in the same circle, saying the same thing over and over.
Yes, it's like a broken record.
I get it, though, Ma, but answer the question what we asking you, though, Ma.
Well, I heard some things about people were leaving several cities because of economics and political agendas and all like that. But you right here in Statesville, I can see where regentrification is happening right before our eyes. Right up the street from me, they're building several, they're getting ready to build a apartment complex on one side, and then on the other side, they got these new homes starting at $300,000, and they just did one not too far from here. So what's going to happen is that the tax is going to change. Taxes for people homes that's already here is going to change tremendously because of what they're doing. And in fact, I have a friend of mine just got her new mortgage statement for this year, went from about $1,000 to $1,700 now. That's not including her homeowner's insurance.
Yes, but if the people leave, you're going to be left with the burden.
Hold on, I know what you're saying. Listen, this whole thing is getting impossible for people to own anything. And again, this was an agenda that they had put forth, and I think they said this a few years back. You will own nothing and you will love it.
Wow.
They are pricing things out of the market on purpose so that you can't. They want you to rent. They want you to be in the position of you're paying somebody else, and somebody that they choose to be in that economically advantageous position. So I get exactly what you're saying. Now, I guess I took the statement wrong when I said that, we were saying the same thing over. Are you saying that we're looping, like the same comments are coming back and back and back?
Yes, that's what was happening.
Okay.
And you all were unaware of
it. So the radio.
The radio, she said, it was looping, she was saying.
Renting is now overpriced.
Yes.
Everywhere you go,
it's overpriced.
Rent now starts above $1,500, so almost in the $2,000 or more in certain places. Now, I asked the question, who is making that kind of money?
Nobody.
That they can come to these type of high-priced
I'll tell you who.
apartments and live comfortably.
I'll tell you who.
And yet you got a segment of people that's making minimum wage that will never, ever be able to afford that type of house, apartment, or whatever. And what's going to happen? They're going to end up on the street.
Yes.
Or end up in a home with somebody that they know. They're going to end up like the Mexican people, living 5 and 6 people in one home.
Well, you say who?
Let King chime in.
You say who? Yeah, you say who? Okay, you say who can afford that? Oh, that's easy. Your city councilmen, your mayors, the same people who you see making these laws, they're the ones. And you see, they're so close. I mean, their vision is so small, or so, I'll say, a tunnel vision. Is because they think that everybody lives like them when they know that they don't. And it's just being willfully ignorant at this point. And this is why you're crafting the laws and you're changing it and you're saying things like, well, we're going to increase the fees. I mean, you were in Maryland when our state taxes were 5%. Now they're talking about taking it from 5%, from 6% back to 5%, but then taxing the fees, adding fees to say if you want to get your house appraised, if you want to get your hair cut, fees at motor vehicles, if your vehicle weighs over 3,700 pounds, over 3,700 pounds, if your registration, for 2 years instead of the 180, now you're talking 250. See, everything, all of a sudden they're running commercials talking about how gas is poison and it's killing people. Everything to support their agenda. This is what has happened.
King, let me ask Mommy this question. Mommy, got a question. You remember when Trump was deporting all these illegal, I'm keep using the word illegal, remember? All these illegal people. And then as soon as he got out of office, well, the Democrats got in office, and the first thing they did, that's not right, they shouldn't be putting them people back, and they created sanctuary cities. Do you see the mayhem that's going on in these sanctuary cities?
Well, they gave them 3,000 to move here.
What you mean? They sent 3,000?
No, they gave them 3,000 for every Spanish person that was moving.
I told you they gave them a stipend.
They was paying them $3,000 to move here. Plus food stamps. I just think the dollars and all the other stuff comes with it. Wraparound services come with it.
But they see the mayhem, the murders. The beating of the police.
Yeah.
The rapes.
Yeah.
So do you think that the people that are coming across the water are the intelligent ones, or possibly be the ones fleeing because they done crimes over there in their own land.
As I said earlier, if you're gonna have an open border system and any and everybody could come into your land, I'm sending the worst. Everybody I don't want, you can have
You
them.
can have them.
I'm keeping the best of the best. You think I'm playing?
Yeah.
If anybody could think about El Salvador and Haiti when Donald Trump was in office, remember what he said about them? They were what, S cities?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody was up in arms, and they were talking. He was like, no, lock them up, get rid of all them gang people.
Yeah.
Well, in El Salvador, they did a crackdown on the gang units. El Salvador is now one of the safest countries to travel to. Yeah. Whereas in Haiti, in case y'all haven't noticed, I mean, my God. And I won't even.
It'll be the same here, King.
Hold on a second, Tom. In Haiti, the gangs have taken over, and one of the leader is eating people.
Yeah, man.
He's producing cannibalism.
Yes, man.
To instill fear in the people there.
Yes.
The gangs have taken over.
Well, King.
Go ahead, Ma. Chime in real fast. Go ahead, Ma.
I have a concern about.
Go ahead.
You have these migrants, immigrants coming in, illegal people coming in, and they're now nesting around some of the real popular apartment complexes where people are paying high rent to live there.
It's not right to me.
These people in these apartments in these very affluent areas where they're coming to, nobody is protesting. They say something and then they drop it.
Yeah.
Why can't they go to the mayor's office or the governor, the people, and let them know we are no longer going to
because
go
they
are the ones who agreed to have the sanctuary cities.
They're the ones cutting the check.
They're the ones who cut the checks. They're the ones agreed to it.
See, Ma, you have to understand that for every $3,000 that they give away, they're getting like $30,000 or $300,000 for every $30 that they give for $3,000 that they give away. It's all about money. And again, remember Ty told you about them building it's like Escape from New York. They trying to build a wall around the city. Yeah. Well, it's an economic wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're gonna make it so you financially, whatever city that you in, especially if you in one of these progressive cities like Baltimore, Philadelphia, D.C., New York, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Chicago, California, the whole California. I'm like, they're building an economic wall where you can't get out because they need people there to pay for their services. Because I just told you, in 3 years, we went from 576,000 people to 565,000.
Hey, Ma, I'm going to let you go, Ma. You got anything you want to chime in real fast?
You all have a good day. Love you.
Yeah. So in 3 years, we've lost almost 12,000 people. That's like 3,000, 4,000 people a year.
He talking about, you got black people talking about they don't want no money from the white man. They giving it away to the legal people. They're getting it away to the legal folks. King, I say, man, King, again here at WFBR 1590 King every Saturday from 11 to 12 here at the Tyrone Hour with me and Kingsley. We strive to bring shock treatment awareness, man. Common sense, man. I always say the common sense approach is natural things. It's how it should be, King. You remember that line? How it should be?
How it should be, yes.
Give me the website real fast.
Sure,
bro.
we had WFBR1590.com. You can do the TuneIn app at dash WFBR or what is that? FBR Radio dash 1590. Okay. Yeah, you can also find us at our podcast at the Tyrone Hour. The podcast is the Tyrone Hour, and that's on Anchor, Spotify, Google, and iHeart. Yeah, and no, we also you can also catch us on Rumble or YouTube at K Thoughts. That's KAETHOUGHTS, and that's on YouTube and Rumble. Those are our handles there.
And we here at WFBR on Saturday, we have a bunch of other variety of shows. Brother Darren comes on after us. He gives it to us just as straightforward as it can be given, man.
I'm sorry.
Again, go ahead, Ken.
Hey, I'm sorry, Anchor, not iHeart Radio. It's Anchor. State of the City comes on after us.
That's
Brother
right.
Darren is in here, and again, he comes with the facts. I keep telling y'all that show was powerful.
King, let me tell you something, King. You know I give a public. Y'all know I give a public service.
Oh, I'm so glad you're gonna bring it.
You know I give a public
I'm glad
service
you're gonna bring it because I got something to say about that.
And I've been informing the people on how to act and deal with this situation. They damn sure not listening.
They not listening, Ty.
Okay, here at the Tyrone Hour, we strive to give a public service announcement. It's called the Wild Squeegee Crossing.
Wild Squeegee Crossing.
If you're coming through Maryland, I don't care if you come across the top of Garrett County, if you run across Negro Mountain. See, a lot of people think we were joking when I said Negro Mountain.
Negro Mountain.
There's a Negro Mountain.
It
Look
exists.
They got a sign up there called Negro Mountain. If you come down Negro Mountain, you come past the Port Deposit and Tawny Town, beware of the Wild Squeegee Crossings, all right?
Yes.
I told you this for years. I came up with this. If you come up on them, King, don't give them any eye contact.
No eye contact.
Don't roll your window down.
No.
If you roll your window down and give them your phone and something go wrong, King, what happens?
Well, you just got to take it on the chin.
Take it on the chin. Go home and tell your family you did something stupid.
Okay.
I talked to a stranger and gave him my phone and a light.
Yeah.
But if it goes crazy, proceed through the light with caution.
And
call the police and give a great description. Because you were violated.
Now,
I ain't got nothing to do with black, white, green, or racism. You were violated. Okay? Let me tell you the reason why I'm really hard on this thing today, King.
Please.
Well, it happened.
I know where you're going with it.
Somebody pulled up at a light the other day and gave their phone to the stranger.
Well, they didn't give it to him, Ty. What happened was, I wrote it down.
What?
What happened was, he made the cardinal sin. He engaged him.
He engaged. It's the cardinal
And then
sin.
what happened was, after he engaged him, he got distracted. When he was distracted, the third person reached in the car and took it out, and then took $2,500.
$2,500. Yeah.
Off the head.
Total violation of the public service announcement.
Total violation. But it didn't just happen to one. It happened to two, because another person engaged him, and the same thing happened.
This is insanity.
And this is the thing that got me though. They've gone past. They reaching in the car and taking it. They took the phone and they took $500 off of that person's
But these are kids that don't have no sense.
No,
right?
but see, they say they was kids, but these were grown men. These grown men. But you see, on the news, they say squeegee kids. See, this is what I mean by the trickery in language. Y'all better learn language.
Yeah, King.
Because these were grown men who did this.
I put a asterisk around public service. I wanted to really get into the public service. I said, are you listening?
We telling you. You know why we tell you this?
We live around
Because we live around this.
Jesus Christ. That's why my next thing is about, King. Talking about voting, King.
Oh, boy. Here
we'll
we
talk
go
about
again.
voting, man.
Here we go with the voting.
A little bit
My
of voting.
views are unpopular.
Voting for people from your community. Not just a black person. You hear me? Voting right now doesn't make sense to me anymore. Why we keep voting strangers in that not from your community?
Ty?
They had a history 50 years ago. I lived on Park Heights back in 1976.
Okay, Ty?
Yeah, we don't want to hear that.
Ty?
We need some literally people from these communities.
When I said something about Dan Cox, just a fresh idea. I said he was at least he showed up. Yeah. He cared to at least hear what we had to say about the schools and what was going on in the schools.
But Dunn had an interview with him, didn't he?
And Dunn had an interview with him. I saw him on TV.
Yeah, I had an interview, which means that, see, we are worldly people. We just not listening to one thing. We listen to what suits and what helps our community goes on.
He exposed Westmore as the other Westmore.
Yes.
You know, these were big stories that got ignored.
Got ignored because he was black.
You see what I'm saying?
Black addiction at the ballot?
Now look at where you're at.
King,
now look at where you're at. All your fees.
Addiction at the ballot.
And I can't wait. See, I know. I just told Ty that they're gonna hit me first because I'm up for my car registration.
Yeah, King, you get
I'm up for my license registration.
I got a short slap, King, so you know I'm in trouble.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I got a short slap. I'm in trouble. I'm gonna have to go.
Well, it start off. They hit you in the head at 150. They start you off at 150 and it's $7 a day. Every day after that.
And rocket,
on weekends and holidays, King, they still running them.
King, again I say, man, wow, man. King, if you know, do we expect change? Or do we just keep going on with
No, what it is that, you know, you hit it right on the head. See, here's the fear. Earlier this week, we had a press conference. And the press conference was to let everybody know how they had busted up this drug ring, this super, sophisticated drug operation going on in Southwest Baltimore. Yeah. They got 70 grams of this, 50 grams of that, 3 guns and one with a switch on it. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, that was newsworthy?
That was newsworthy.
Here, the commissioner came on and said that when he was a beat walker, he was stationed down there. Yeah. And it was like that back there when he was there. And I was like, well, if he was a beat walker, he walked the beat. I'm like, and you was a regular patrol officer, how long did it have to take you to become a commissioner? At least 20 years, right? Yeah. So for 20 years, that part of Baltimore has been like that. So at least from 2000 to where we are now.
Yes.
That's crazy. But yet, you announce something. Now, to the masses, to the people, to the feel goods, and make it look like, well, I'm running for re-election, I'm doing things. But to the elderly people and to the people who are unsuspecting, it looks like, they got major drug operations going on in Baltimore. Hey, well, you know what? We really need to keep this type of person here because he knows how to handle it. It's that forked tongue. It's I'm on one side I'm saying this, and on the other side I'm saying that. But the truth of the matter is, the whole thing is a lie.
King, they just talked about how. Now we talked about that. Remember, I talked about coat racking guns last year. Remember I talked about coat racking guns. Now they just got this big hearing downtown with Safe Streets and everything. And some of my buddies, they work with Safe Streets and everything. And but they just had a hearing with Safe Streets. So they asked Safe Streets. They said, so you knew that some of these young men had guns out at the Brooklyn Day party. You didn't tell the police.
No.
And so this is what is result. Brooklyn Day massacre is a result of black management of our own people. Because we had a security crew there.
But somehow or another it became the police fault.
It was somehow or another it became the police's fault. See, we had our own security there. Yeah. See, but I'm down. I know Tim mother. I know Mike mother. I know John father.
Yeah.
That's little Mike. I'll just talk to him.
He ain't gonna disrespect me.
He ain't gonna disrespect me.
He ain't gonna do nothing while I'm out here.
Nothing while I'm out here.
Then I left at 12.
I left at 12.
Yeah,
as soon as he
because
left,
I got responsibility.
As soon as he left.
Yeah. The job was over at 12.
As soon as they left, the mass shooting happened.
Oh, that's what happened?
And you don't inform the police, but yet you say that you're protectors of the black community. Well, that same guns, man. Again, I said the coke racking thing. So you mean tell me you having programs where young men and women are coming to your program to get some type of mental help, assisting in job or whatever it might be. And you're allowing them to come to your program strapped with a gun? Yeah. And you tell me that I know that they got a gun. Mm-hmm. I take their gun, put it up on the handle as though they are security somebody, talk to them about being good and right, and give it back to them at the end of the day, and then come back in the evening and say...
And you know what the solution to that was?
Go ahead, King. Go ahead.
You know what the solution was? We had an uproar. We went in front of the camera. We had a nice photo op with the governor and the mayor. We said that we want to change, and then Adrian Jones came out and said that she'll deal with it in January. Here January done rolled through, February done rolled through. Yes. We're in the March. Wow. Now we ain't got but a couple of days left. Wow. Ain't nothing happened. The solution was to add $300,000 as insurance for people who carry guns legally. It was to add taxes to ammunition and all kinds of accessories that go to guns, because the guns are what's killing people. Not the people who have guns, not the people who are in charge of a system who are employing our own security, who gets off at 12 and don't inform the police about what's going on.
That there's not one gun.
Machine guns.
Machine guns
Okay?
And you don't inform the law. And then the law is the one that's on the podium talking about they sorry.
They sorry. It's
See,
our fault.
And that's where I get it with the law, where I'm saying at some point, an adult a man has to come up and say, that's not my fault at all.
Well, see, what happened was they reimagined how policing was supposed to take place. See, this is what happens when you reimagine policing.
Yeah.
See what I mean? See, again, the vaginification. Yeah. This is when, can I go back to when we were, Ma said that I'm talking in circles, so let me hit you with this one again. Strong times makes weak men. Weak men take over those good times. Okay? They take over them and make those times bad. And like what we're going through now. Then it calls for strong men to come back and rebuild it. And then once we rebuild it, then you soft dudes get to come back and go to college and go here and make friends here and make, and have nepotism there and favoritism there. And I'm going to put my friend in positions here because, $300,000, like Ma said, who can afford to live in these places?
That's what he's speaking for us, King.
Yeah.
We figured that the college kid is the person.
Because we knew them when they left to go to college. Yeah. We don't know what they did when they got there. And I know, because I went to college. Yeah. Okay?
King, I'll tell you, King.
And they don't know what has happened between college and now. And you're still looking at them like, you know what, they have our best interest. And it's like, no.
Well, I'm going to say, King, I say, man, oh, my goodness, man. So we believe that because you went to college, you are best representative on how to lead people.
Well, let me tell you.
clearly see that that's not working right.
Well, listen, just to prove that point, just look at how our ladies are looking nowadays. Just look at them. And most of these images are coming off of college campuses. Our women, notice I ain't put a color on it, our women look like drag queens. Because that's where they're taking their style from. The extensions in the long hair, the caked up makeup, the long nails, the long eyelashes. When I'm talking to every time, I swear if I have to, the snapping of the fingers, your whole vernacular, how you dress, your breast augmentations, your BBLs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. This is what our women, this is what women look like outside today. And they're telling you how you can't afford them and how you're broke.
King, what's trending in the country right now is who's trying to teach our children. Our children right now, some of us right now, even our adults are stuck into this program of TikTok. What do you think about this TikTok thing, King? I brought it up because that's what's going on in the country right now.
Well, let's just be honest.
People going to lose their mind because they can't.
Well, let's just be honest. Go ahead. As long as I can remember, the kids always set the trend. Okay, once the kids set the trends, then the adults hop on it, and then they ride it and they pervert it. Okay.
Good call, King. We talked about that, but remember I talked about that when I kept saying adults get out of children's way with your nasty thoughts and theories about
what did I say? I said our elites and our intellectual elites. Okay.
We talked about that a couple years ago.
So what has happened is, that you have TikTok that in its inception was a dance video, and we gonna make little shorts, and we gonna basically make asses of ourselves and make fun and joke and gender reveal and all that.
The security part about the about the security of our country of it by being through China.
Well. See, my whole thing is okay. Well, I tell you like this: I'm old enough and wise enough to understand that when they tell me something about a country owning something, that's not accurate. Okay? When they want to really control you, they'll tell you something like, they'll always add something in front of it like the Federal Reserve. If you heard the Federal Reserve, you would think that the Federal Reserve has something to do with the government. You would never know that it's a privately owned entity. Same with TikTok. So by the smoke and mirrors of saying the government, yes, the government has some say as to what they have. China you can't air that over China's airwaves. Okay, so there's a regulation. No, there's a regulation, but TikTok is owned by individuals.
Yeah, from China.
Not all from China. See, that's just a misconception.
But one of the bases
is in China, yes. They are, but again, the regulations that they have the children can spend an hour on TikTok, and they have to be doing something.
You said their regulations, but over here, we're
listen, hey, bruh. How many times I keep telling you about this system? What do they call it?
Just do what you want to at any time, anytime.
No, that's not it.
What?
We live in what is the catchword they keep saying about the system? You know, that is rigged against us.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a system that's put together, they're in charge of the system.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in on you said I'm going hard. Okay, well, I'm gonna go harder. Congressional Black Caucus is useless. I don't even know what they exist for.
The Rainbow Coalition? What is they?
Well,
what are they? What do they do? Are they still talking the same old?
They still talking the same foolishness.
So
when you talk about that, systemic racism, that's where I was going at. So when you keep talking about that stuff there, I'm like, you're taking away from what's really happening out here. These people know what's going on. It's individually owned, and they're funneling it through people. You don't think they funneled this through the channels already, and they okayed this? They're not just doing this willy-nilly.
Yeah.
They're doing this because they've been monitoring it, because they understand social media is, it's worldwide.
It's worldwide. Yeah.
So you talking about something, where in my region, we're not gonna have this. So over there, it's only but a certain amount of things, and everywhere is certain things. Again, in the Arab countries, you're not seeing nothing homosexual over there. There's no marketing of anything homosexual or none of that over there, and they don't care nothing about no LGBTQ. Okay, you can say what you want. Come over here if you want to with it. Come over here, let me show you what your rights really are.
King, I'm glad I came up with this topic, man, because it sent us a lot of ways, man. Leaving Baltimore.
Because I've been left. I've left mentally. Now I just got to leave physically.
Leaving Baltimore with a question.
I've left spiritually.
Are we afraid, King? A lot of us are afraid to
sometimes, like I said, we're in an economic wall. So we're locked in, because to uproot yourself and move is going to cost money. You don't even have money to eat.
You don't even have money to eat. Eggs cost $18. Eggs cost $10 at the market.
So, it's a thing of convenience, because if you up and move, again, there's no guarantee. Again, I just told you, if you leave in this city and you go into, another city that's controlled by progressive black people,
you're in trouble.
You in trouble. And listen, I've been wanting to say this for years. People, welcome to Baltimore, America's progressive nightmare, because this is what it is here.
And remember, again, we go back to Brother Charles, the
dumping grounds for bad
ideas.
You got a bad idea?
Give it to us.
Just put it in the
We're going to make it look hip. Dip and slick.
Yeah, we're gonna put we're gonna put crocodile skin on it.
We're gonna make it a little hip, dip and slick.
We're gonna charge you $3,000 for it and make sure it sell out.
Mommy called in and said y'all were going over and over. It's like something was going on. I don't know what was going on, but I'm gonna call her and figure what was going on. She said something was going on, but we're going to figure that out, though. But
it was like it was stuck in a loop.
It was stuck in a loop, she was saying, something like that or something. But again, I said, man, hit the Tyrone out, man, every Saturday, man, from 11 to 12. Me and Kingsley, we strive to bring shock treatment, awareness. What's the number one we deal with? We talk about, King?
Accountability.
And emotional
accountability.
Emotional accountability is the number one thing that's going on out there right now.
I keep talking about it every week. You see it.
You see it every day.
The vaginification.
They can't have 2 minutes without pouting, crying, or claiming somebody done something to them.
I swear I'm about to go on. Let me get my gun.
Yeah, King. Yeah. We just had a couple of situations in the city, man. And I really never like trying to talk about the horrible black violent things. I try not to talk about that. You know what I mean?
Well, we got to, because
it's consistent behavior, man. Where we don't talk about black on black crime, but no one in my lifetime I've heard really in my lifetime. I'm not really on. I'm really not computer savvy.
I understand.
And I really don't still hear people saying black on black issues?
Well, you're not, because that's not the. No. They have narratives out there now. That's how they're creating their content and they're creating the news. So it's to talk about black plight is not advantageous. I got to make it seem, unless a white man has wronged me.
Okay.
I mean, again, look at what happened to that white girl in St. Louis. Yeah. I ain't saying that. I mean, she squared up with her, so she took the L. Yeah. But girlfriend banged her head into that concrete. King, that joint was vicious.
I tell you, King, thank you, man.
That was vicious.
I tell you, thank you, man.
So,
but it just gets to me, King. You said one thing I like when you said, only time we hear something like that is unless a white person or somebody did something to you.
Yeah, because it feeds the narrative. That's how they make their money.
Again, King, I say
Don't you know being broke is the new thing? Yeah, as long as you claim that you broke, you could go online and make a ton of money.
Yeah, King.
I'm poor, I'm destitute. The system holding me back.
King, thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
We're going to get up out of here, let the brother get in here.
Yeah, let the state of the city finish the nuclear, letting off the nuclear bomb.
Give it to him as straight as can be. We all about adultism here, man.
Yeah, grown men action.
We all about adultism here, man.
No vaginification up here.
If it ain't right, it ain't right.
That's right. And we're going to let you know it.
We're going to let you know it, man. You know what? You need to stop doing what you're doing. Now, thank you, man. Thank you, King, and everything, man. Thank you, Gene, and everybody for Sister Gene. Thank you, Gene.
Thank you, Gene.
Thank you, Gene, for helping the Tyrone Hour exist and keep flowing a little longer. Thank you, because I think this message needs to be going on. And you guys have a great weekend. Thank you.